Young Learners HQ.
Hello, young learners. Today, we're diving into the enchanting tale of Cinderella. This story, originally titled Ashen Portal by the Brothers Grimm, means the little Ash girl. Let's discover her magical journey together. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a wealthy gentleman with a kind and gentle wife. They had a beautiful daughter who was as good as she was lovely. Sadly, one day, the mother fell gravely ill and called her daughter to her bedside.
My dear child, always remain good and kind, and God will protect you.
With those words, the mother passed away and was buried. The little girl visited her mother's grave every day to grieve and pray. And as time went by, her father married another woman who had 2 daughters of her own.
Hello, Father.
Hello, my dear Ashen Poodle. Meet you stepmother and your stepsisters from now. They are going to live with us. Dear wife and daughters, this is my beloved daughter Ashen Poodle.
Pleased to meet you, madam and dear sisters.
Come girls, let's settle in.
Though the stepsisters had beautiful faces, their hearts were cruel and wicked. They stole the girl's fine clothes and jewels, forced her to wear rags, and made her do all the housework.
Look at her, the ash fool, covered in soot and cinders.
Yes, from now on, we'll call her Cinderella.
Despite their cruelty, Cinderella remained kind and good. Every day, she visited her mother's grave, hoping for better days. One day, the gentleman planned to visit a fair.
What shall I bring you, my dear daughters?
Beautiful dresses.
Pearls and diamonds?
And what would you like, my dear?
Just the first twig that brushes your hat on your way home.
The gentleman returned with gifts for his stepdaughters and a hazel twig for Cinderella. She planted the twig over her mother's grave and watered it with her tears. It grew into a beautiful hazel tree, and a white bird came to visit whenever she prayed under it. One day, the king announced a grand festival that would last for 3 days so the prince could choose a bride. The stepsisters were thrilled and spent hours preparing.
Please, stepmother, may I go to the festival?
You have no dress or shoes. How could you go?
But Cinderella begged and begged until her stepmother relented, on one condition.
If you can pick up all the lentils I've thrown into the ashes into ours, you may go.
Cinderella called out to the birds.
Little birds, come help me. The good must be put in the dish. The bad you may eat if you wish.
The birds came and helped her pick up the lentils. She completed the task in less than an hour.
All done, stepmother.
Fine, here's another dish of lentils. Finish this in 1 hour, then you may go.
With the help of the birds, Cinderella finished again, but the stepmother hurried off to the festival with her daughters, leaving Cinderella behind.
Oh, mother, please help me.
The white bird at the hazel tree threw down a beautiful gown of silver and gold and silk shoes. Cinderella dressed and went to the festival. The prince saw her and danced with her all night.
I must know who you are.
I think I should go. I cannot stay past midnight.
Cinderella had to leave before midnight because the magic that created her beautiful dress and shoes would vanish at the stroke of 12. At midnight, Cinderella ran off and hid in the pigeon coop. The prince tried to follow, but Cinderella had already escaped.
What's going on?
The maiden who danced with me has escaped. I will find her.
The next night, Cinderella wore an even more beautiful dress and again danced with the prince. But at midnight, she escaped by climbing a pear tree.
Chop down the tree.
But Cinderella was already gone. On the 3rd night, she wore a dress of pure gold and silk slippers. The prince, determined to keep her, had the stairway smeared with pitch. Cinderella ran, but one of her golden slippers got stuck. The prince found it and declared he would marry the maiden whose foot fit the slipper. The next morning, the prince arrived at Cinderella's house. The stepsisters tried on the slipper.
I'll cut off my toes to make it fit.
I'll cut off part of my heel.
Is there another girl in the house?
There is only a dirty little Cinderella.
Cinderella appeared, washed clean, and the slipper fit perfectly. The prince recognized her.
It's you. You are my bride.
The stepmother and stepsisters were horrified. Cinderella married the prince and lived happily ever after. The doves declared her the true bride and stayed with her always, one on her left shoulder and one on her right. And so, the kind and good Cinderella found her happiness, proving that goodness and kindness will always be rewarded. And they all lived happily ever after. The end.
Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe.